All right.
Come on. Any second now. Any second
Whey! We're frozen.
It'll come in a second. This one has a little bit of lag, but I think we're back now, guys. Sorry, you know, it wouldn't be a DarkOrbit stream without some technical issues in the beginning, I guess you have to say. I blame Windows.
I blame Windows.
Yeah, we had to restart Windows, and our cameras wouldn't work, and our microphones wouldn't work, but hey, in the end, we figured it out. So anyway, welcome guys to our latest stream. This is kind of a special one because we have some pretty big news for you guys. Yeah, so yeah, to start out, I'm Ron, aka Baracus. With me is Phil.
Hello.
Our senior narrative designer, if you don't know. And also over here, everybody knows the great OP32 Declan. Yeah, so we're live today mainly to talk about what's been on all of our players' minds for the last, I would say, at least 6 months or so, probably a little bit longer. And that's server merges. It's a very important thing to us and something that the whole team has been working very hard on. And now we're happy to finally be able to bring you some news regarding how that's going to work. And yeah, we're gonna jump right in. I guess that's the best way to do it, right, Phil?
Yeah, no, I think, you know, one of the things about the server merge stuff that we're telling you is this is, Ron and me wanted to, and Declan really wanted to know what was going on. We didn't want to talk about this until we had some like really clear direction from the developers, and now I think we've got a lot of information to divulge to you, and a good idea of like what's going to happen, and we'll explain some of the things and the processes that we're going to go through. So, Ron.
Yeah, so we'll start this out first of all, just by letting you guys know that the main script, so that's the way that we're going to be transferring over all the information, has been completed. We finished it just recently. So that means that everything is pretty much ready to do the testing. Like I told you guys, we've already started the testing. That was on a smaller base. Now we have the pretty much end script, the one we're going to use, and we're going to be running our trials all the way up through Christmas. Now I got to tell you, one of the reasons we have to do it this way is because, yeah, I mean, it's Christmas time. There's going to be people out of the office, and we don't want to rush this process anyway. So basically what we're saying is that the trials will lead up to Christmas. We're going to merge real servers with real data on test cases. So basically, we're going to be using your real accounts, you know, and our real servers, just to make sure that everything is exactly how it's going to be when we actually pull the trigger on this thing. That's going to make sure that, you know, everything is stable. It's going to make sure all the data transfers over, that nothing's broken. And it's also going to reveal something, you know, that Phil's going to talk to you a little bit now. It's going to reveal the edge cases, which I'm sure a lot of you already know about. But we'll let Phil touch on edge cases real quick.
Yeah, so edge cases are something that we use in the industry. It's a term for something that effectively like sits on the edge. So, you know, if you've got something standing on the edge of a cliff and then the wind blows the wrong way, it could fall off the cliff or it could fall back onto like the cliff, and you know, and we're trying to stop all the falling off the cliff type stuff. But edge cases are things that you probably know quite a lot as like exploits in games. So you see like the opportunity there. Sometimes somebody posts something on YouTube, some of them are untrue, but some of them are true, and then everybody like romps away and like destroys a cave in Destiny or something like this because that's there. Or you stand in a cave in Destiny shooting a couple of mobs and nothing actually happens because that exploit's been fixed. But in a game, you know, exploits are fun for you, and okay, yeah, they're troublesome for us, but that's the life of it. But realistically, an exploit in something like a server merge, that's a huge thing. If we have an edge case in a server merge and we don't see that edge case, if we don't see it happen, it could mean that data like drops out, it gets lost and things like this. And going back to, I think something I've said quite a lot of times is just that DarkOrbit is 10 years old. Nobody on this team is the same people who started the team, and that's not because we've adapted them or changed them with some type of alien DNA. It's because they're different people and people have moved on. And so sometimes we have to like find out the systems that they were using, get those right, and our development team, we had a great meeting with them yesterday, and they were really clear. Declan and me were in that meeting. Declan, I felt that we got tons of really good information off them.
It was good.
And this is exactly what we're like giving over to you. But if I can just get Ron to stand up a minute and just stand over there, and I'll give an explanation of an edge case. So Ron is standing over there, and he's like, "Yeah, I think he's still in frame. We'll know in a minute."
Neither of your heads are in frame.
This is absolutely fine. So you can just see our shorts now, which I know is like a feature of like these events. So Ron, as we know, is American, and I'm from like the United Kingdom, and yes, and an edge case is something like if we're like merging servers, it's just like. We wouldn't want to merge like the American server with the United Kingdom server because of the time zone difference. Because like, you know, I constantly find that Ron is like far more sleepy in the mornings and sort of slowly wakes up during the day. Well, I'm awake because we're in Germany, so we're much more on UK.
We have to keep standing for this? I feel really awkward.
No, we can like sit down now.
I'm in America, he's in England. That was kind of, I don't know why we had to stand up for that, but that was kind of the point.
It was good. And so what happens is to alleviate those edge cases, we're always going to look at servers which are close and similar to each other that we merge in the same time zone band in this type of thing. And I think Declan's going to like pull up something which sort of gives an idea, but this is just an example. These aren't definitely the servers, they are definitely not the servers, they're just like something that we've drawn up to give you an example of how this server merge is going to happen. And like I think Ron's just going to chat a bit about how the process is going to work.
Yeah, so basically I'm going to talk to you now a little bit about how this whole process is going to go down. So this is just the steps that we're going to take to make sure that this gets done. So basically we'll start by porting the users into the new database. So that's when we have a server and we have, you know, we know what's going to happen, and we start actually transferring the information over. Next thing, of course, once the data transfer is complete, we have to check to make sure that all the data is correct. It was all maintained, everything made it over correctly, everything is working correctly on the new server. If you know anything about how these games work, each server has, you know, their own databases that they get their information from. So we have to make sure that all of that is working correctly. Our QA guys are going to be, you know, very busy. Us too, I imagine. But yeah, that's how it's going to work out. So you have to remember that, you know, DarkOrbit has many pages attached to each user. So each user's account is quite huge. So you have a lot of databases where every single item, every single thing you've ever earned, every title, every rank, that all goes, that comes from information placed on these sheets, and there's a lot. Yeah. We have an 11-year-old game, there's a lot of data in each account. And one thing you really have to keep in mind is that, you know, not just the accounts that you see playing now, we have accounts since the beginning of DarkOrbit. So I think, you know, last check we're well over 35 million users in our lifetime. So yeah, we're transferring 35 million accounts. That's not a small number. And if you're talking about the amount of information that's each one, this is going to take some time. Yeah, so I mean, I think I'll go ahead and move straight into this next one, because this is what I think all of you guys are wondering. This is the big question. So how long is it going to take? So the first instance that we'll be doing, we're probably gonna, I guess we're rolling that out in January. That's the plan right now.
Yeah, right? And we're gonna roll it out slow.
Yeah, it's gonna be slow. We're gonna roll out in January, so this is gonna be the first. I believe it's 5 servers that are going to be merging together. Is it? Or 4? Or
I think the first one's going to be 2 servers, and then those 2 servers are going to quickly be
okay, so you guys see the little diagram that OP put up here. This is basically how it's going to work. Maybe I just want you guys to know that Declan OP he designed this, and it's pretty next level.
This is my Photoshop skills.
But maybe you can just tell them exactly what is going on in this diagram here, just so they can get an idea of what we're talking about.
So it's kind of an example of how it works. There'll be multiple servers which go into other servers. So instead of a brand new server being made, it will be 2 or 3 or even 4 in some cases, all going to one server. But it won't all happen at once. So as you can see, GB2 first goes into GB1, and then GB1 into G5, G6 into G5, and then finally G7 into G5. And it's important to say this is just an example. We're not saying definitely this is happening, this is how it's going to be. This is the example of how the process is going to work.
And following that example, if things go smoothly, which of course we want them to do, which is why we've taken so much time working on this to get it working right, then the process can speed up, which is why we're not giving any timescales realistically, because we still don't know the timescales involved in this. We want to protect your data, you're our players, and we love you playing DarkOrbit, and therefore we don't want to ruin the experience by messing something up during a server merge. And the developers and the whole team are completely behind this and doing it in the right time and making sure it comes out right.
No, well, I mean, I think a better way to say this is just we have to make sure that we get it right the first time. Once we start doing this, there's definitely no turning back, and we want to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. Yeah, and the reason we're not giving you an exact time frame is because we literally don't know it. We know in a ballpark how long it might take for these first ones to be done. I would say probably by the end of January we would have those done and actually have a better idea of how we're going to move forward with the rest. Then we can give you a better timeline, I guess, for the rest of the servers. Because it really depends on how that one goes. If there's issues, then we have to, look into those and see how we can make sure that it doesn't happen. So yeah, I know that's not the answer that you wanted. You wanted an exact timeline, but unfortunately we can't give that to you now. But we can tell you that the server merges will start in January. So at least we definitely can tell you that. But something that goes along with that is actually good news is that once we start doing these merges, if they're going smoothly, of course, as we said, then we're going to speed up, they're going to be going faster. But on the side of that, once they start rolling, we won't need the entire dev team working on that anymore. So we're going to have them free to be, doing some bug fixes that we've had on the table for a while, putting out some new content that we'll be telling about you guys soon. Yeah, I mean, we're working on things. We can start working on a more normal schedule then, so we can start bringing you some new events. Don't expect a full range of new events quite yet, but we will be able to bring you some new content, some new features. We already have some stuff that's working right now that we will be ready to release. Yeah, well, I think we have 1 or 2 things that are actually coming out before Christmas. That's something that we did all on our side. But other than that, you can just take comfort in the fact that we'll get back to a more normal development cycle once the new year starts.
And if you're wondering what you'll see when the servers are merging, now before the servers merge, if you're on one of the servers that's going to be merged, initially we'll disable things that can vary the data, so there won't be any new registrations on those servers. The auctions will stop and things like this. You'll see this ranking down on the server of things being happening and being available, and the reason for that is we just don't want lots of variables coming in. It goes back to that sort of edge cases thing that I was talking about, that if we tried to keep these servers live and running while loads of people are doing things, people may see this as an opportunity to exploit or X or Y, and this is something we just can't handle. We need the data as stable as possible, and as stable as possible is nobody in the game. To be honest, we'd risk data leakage, we'd risk a whole bunch of other things if we went on that way. So, and yet again, as we roll out, as Ron said, we will inform you about what's going on, how well it's going, and things like this. I think one of the things that we've been here is really, really, truly honest with you about the processes, and I think there's other game companies out there who wouldn't be as honest about the processes and how they're going through them. But this is again because we really respect you, and we think that a lot of you have been here with us for a long, long time, and therefore we want to like maintain that relationship and keep doing Dark Future for you for now and into the future. And as Ron said, we do have like as the servers start to merge, as long as everything's going smoothly, then we get more development time, and that means we can like look at new features, we can look at new events, new content, new quest lines, new stories, a whole lot of new stuff.
Somebody just posted a link in there they shouldn't. Like, yes, we know, you're cool. Yeah, I mean, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. There's not a whole lot more we can tell you right now. I think that's actually quite a bit of information. That's more than we've had the past couple of months. I wish we could have shared all that earlier with you, but you know, the facts were we didn't know exactly how this was going to work. The team had been working on it, but we didn't know until they were done with the actual script how we were going to move forward. Now we do know. We're giving you that information, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, you know, we're humans, we do take time off, so that's one reason why we really can't push this to be done, you know, before Christmas break, or winter break, sorry, we can't say Christmas.
Christmas. You just did.
Christmas.
Yeah, you're in trouble now.
So silly. But anyway, yeah, so now we kind of know, you know, that it's going to start after Christmas break, so in January, once everybody's back in the office. Yeah, hopefully, you know, full of energy and ready to go. And I think we all are. And we have a lot of stuff planned. You know, we do have the birthday coming up. We're not going to forget about you guys that have gotten us up to 11 years. That's on December 11th. We'll be celebrating that. I mean, we have Thanksgiving coming up. We always do something special, you know, for our American players. Thanksgiving. I'll be celebrating with some turkeys, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys will be too. What else? Am I forgetting something?
Well, I think, you know, we may like do something special for winter in the daily login bonus, so that's definitely like something that might be in like the pipeline. I also think that Declan's working on part of like the winter event, and I still have to get my claws into that, like write some of that stuff, so that's going to be quite good. And yeah, the one thing that's really important to like mention, really important, is that we will be continuing to deliver content throughout like the period of like the server merge, and we'll also our developers will always be looking to like improve the processes and the running of the game. And I think over the last, as we've said, we keep saying, you know, trust us, but I think over the last sort of 6-9 months in under like sort of like this new CM like regime, friendly hug, whatever you want to call it, shorts fast, that we have made sort of significant improvements in lots of different areas of the game where people have had problems, and we are always looking at like critical cases and the ways that we can fix those.
Yeah, I mean, so Phil's being a little bit nice there. We had a rough start, I'm not going to lie. I mean, this team had a bit of a rough start. The whole team, not just CM, everybody. You know, he said it early and we said it the whole time. It's pretty much a brand new team. We had a lot of work to do, but, you know, I think we really hit our stride in the last 2 to 3 months, if I'm being fair and if I'm being honest. You've definitely seen the improvements we made in the hangar speed, the shop speed. We refactored that, made the shop less confusing. You know, of course, we still have issues, but we're still working on them, and we're still dedicated to improving performance and improving the overall game. There's lots of stuff to come, so, you know, you have no need to worry about anything. Now, I mean, we're not going to take many questions this stream, because this is more of just an informational thing. I will take some questions, of course, because, you know, you guys are here, you're asking. I saw one people asking what issues are you facing with the server merge? I mean, we kind of went over that. We're not facing any issues right now. Right now, everything is working fine. The script is finished. From our initial testing, it looks like it works. So we'll only know if we have any real issues once we start doing this for real. But I don't foresee any issues because we have been so careful in this process leading up to this point.
I think I can give another example. If you like track down back 10 years on Google and look at what mobile phones were like then and what they are like now, that's the type of issues we're dealing with. We're dealing with 10-year-old like code and 10-year-old like processes, and we want to get it right. So things change over time, and especially in like a technological market like the games industry, things change even faster. The engines people use and stuff like this. So they're not issues we're facing. They're just things that we have to sort of like relearn effectively.
I don't know if that's the greatest comparison, Phil. Nokia 3310 still works,
It's
man.
still
It's
going
like
good.
the most hardcore thing of all time, and it still plays Snake.
Yes.
I saw a question here, man. I usually like don't get involved in this kind of stuff or say anything, but somebody says, "Is DOB gonna come back?" I don't know. Go ask them. How about that? Who knows? Yeah. So we'll move on to something else right now. Like a man OP over here, just he put out something in the forums last night that I know is very near and dear to everybody's hearts, and that's about multi-company clans.
It is indeed.
It is indeed. So maybe you can tell us just give us a rundown of what the feedback was, maybe, first?
So, generally, we've been thinking about this for a long time, and the reason it's been going on for a long time is there's no easy, simple, straightforward fix. People are aware of the problem that multi-company clans create in events, just for the general server and how it works. A lot of people want them gone. I understand that people who are in the clans don't want them gone because you're there with your friends, and so our aim was how to remove the effect they have on the server whilst allowing people to stay in the same clan, be friends, and not mess up the company population and how powerful a company is. Now, no one has come up with a solution that actually fixes the problem, which is why we kind of went to the players and like, what do you guys weigh up the most? Have we missed anything? And generally the feedback we've got is overwhelmingly people are against it. So we are going to try to look to remove them, but at the same time we do want the people in these clans to still be able to play together, which is where the big task comes in. Ideally these changes would happen alongside server merge, because then the company population won't matter as much. There'll still be more people, companies will balance themselves out, but then we've got the issue of if we allow people to change company for free, the ranks are messed up. So it's like a game of rock, paper, scissors, and we have to decide which one's best. And so we would be very, very grateful if people went to the forum, gave us our feedback.
Yeah,
it's very important to us right now.
We'd totally appreciate it. I'd appreciate it from my side, because from my side we've discussed like doing quest lines,
yep,
which are like company related, and the multi-company clans cause issues with that and problems. We'd like to give each of the companies like a little bit more of their own identity, and there's no way we can take that forward with these things in place. But as OP's just said, it's just like, it's really, really cool if you can like give us the feedback, because then we know what people feel, what people really, really want out there.
Gotta say as well, from a game design point of view, they are a real pain. Every event we make that isn't in a Galaxy Gate gets ruined by these things. We can't balance an event for multi-company clans. It's impossible.
I think the most important thing here to keep on your mind is that we do know that it's a problem, but just like, if you go through and read the forum posts from OP and you look at, if you just talk to your friends in the game, every solution has its downside and its upside. So we have to find the best solution for everybody. That's what we're trying to do. But we made that first step. This is another project that I think OP is going to be in charge of. As you guys see, he's been taking more and more responsibility when it comes to doing things on the design side. And it's a great thing for the team, a great thing for the game, for you guys, to have this guy here doing this stuff. So that's kind of going to be one of his focuses now. He's also working on the project still of the ship rebalancing. You guys are going to hear more about that soon. We have things in the pipeline. We're doing things. We just finished running some tests for some NPC changes, which haven't been done, behavior changes, which haven't been done in ever. Or I think this is the first time. One of our designers, one of our awesome designers, spent quite a bit of time doing all this stuff by himself. So these are kind of things that we can try to work on now that we still don't have all the dev resources we would like. So we're trying to identify everything that we can do now in order to make this transition phase from less populated servers to super populated servers as easy as possible, and then also make sure once you get there that the game is in a better place than it was before. And I have every confidence that we'll be able to achieve that, especially with, we're rethinking some of our plans now. We had to go back to the drawing board, but that's the way these things work. Nothing's going to happen exactly as you planned at first, but you adjust, and that's what we've done. And we're rolling. Yeah, I just wanted to take 1 second to answer a quick question from in here. It's something that I say all the time in here. I think the people here actually don't like me saying this, but if you're ever in Hamburg, reach out, man. Reach out to me. I'll come talk to you. I know a lot of people, Phil will too. I know that's for a fact. We'll come talk to you. If you're old enough, we'll go have a beer with you. We got no problem. We love our community, and we can talk about games all day and night. We don't have to talk about DarkOrbit, we talk about whatever. But yeah, if you're in Hamburg, shoot me a line on Discord, yeah, get at me. We'll come see you. I don't recommend that you come straight to Big Point and try to see us. I probably still will come down, but the people here are a little bit touchy about that. Not all of them work with the community, so it's not that comfortable for them. You have to understand that. For them, it's a bit of a shock when somebody just shows up. They don't know what you guys want. I know you guys just want to come hang out, and even if you want to come yell at me, that's okay too. I'm cool with that. Get your frustrations out, man. That's all good. And somebody also asked me, is OP wearing shorts? Man, we have a hard time making this guy wear pants in the office.
I know. Out of control.
So I don't know. You just have to leave it to your imagination if he's wearing shorts or not.
Was there anything else?
No, just we really need feedback on the multi-company clans because it's a very
so you guys,
hot issue.
It was kind of a last minute thing in the forum last night, but it should be spreading out throughout the forums. But even if it's not, if you don't have a post in your local forum in your local language, just go ahead and make your own post. What you think about multi-company clans? If you have a solution for us, explain it. Let us know. We'll go over all this feedback. Try to see. There's going to be more surveys and more feedback forms in the future regarding this, because we really got to narrow it down and figure out exactly what the best solution is here. But just so you guys know, we know that it's a problem. We know that the feedback was 80-85%, kind of against allowing. But also there was really good feedback saying, yeah, we're super against it, but if you just take it away, there's all these other factors that, if you just take away just that fact, don't let people be in multi-company clans. That would cause huge issues.
Yeah, they would find multi-company alliances, and then one company would be far better than all the others. The problem wouldn't go away instantly. It would have to be a series of changes, which is why we do need the discussion as much as possible.
Yeah, and I think more as we go forward, because realistically, you are the community and you make the game. I think more and more we will be looking for the changes that you want within the processes of the game, the actual game itself. We appreciate there are technical problems, we listen to those as well, but when we come in and we start discussing this, if this is a positive reaction and we get lots of really good feedback from the community, then we'll come to the community again and again to ask them questions and to slowly progress the game as you would like to see it. And obviously as still runs for us.
Yes, that's basically the gist of what we wanted to get into during the stream. We're still just about at 30 minutes, so we can take a couple minutes to answer some questions, but like I said, we're not going to make this a full-length hour stream this time, just because that wasn't the intention, but I see that you guys have quite a few questions on here. I saw somebody earlier in there really complaining about being banned from Discord, and it, and you said that I banned you. I tell you this, first of all, if you were banned by me, you did something really wrong. Because I think I'm one of the nicest people on there, man. You know what I'm saying? Even OP is more savage than me. So, yeah, man, I get it. You think you were speaking the truth, but obviously you were doing something you shouldn't have been doing. We can try to revisit it later and see if we can let you back on there if you know how to behave. It's a very free community on Discord. I love to keep it that way. And and you guys know you're allowed to speak your mind in there. So, you know, I do take a little bit of offense when people come on here and try to say that they're being, you know, they're being censored. I am the last person to do that, man. As long as you guys behave yourself on Discord, it's all good. Talk about what you want. If you have criticisms, post it. You know, I send out feedback forms for every event. You know, on a regular basis, we talk to you guys. You have your chance to talk back to us and to let us know exactly how you feel. So take advantage of those choices. You know, I mean, don't complain if you get banned for, you know, good reasons. I think that's you know, that's just not cool, man. You know what I'm saying? So okay, we're gonna go over a couple of these questions. Somebody was just asking, I saw about the rebalancing patch. That's what I was talking about. The emerging.
The emerging light, I think we called it.
Emerging light. It's going to happen. I mean, he has. It's on his desk. It's on your desk to do. Right?
Progress has slowed,
Yeah.
but it is 1 or 2 steps away from being beta tested by groups, whoever. Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, so we'll open up those for some testing as we move on to the next couple of you know, weeks, maybe months. But it's going to be done. We're working on an OP. He has stuff to do. We have a lot of work to do coming up, all of us, but we're working on those things. I see my great Russian friends won't leave me alone. Yeah, the Russian servers are going to be merged too, man. We're not forgetting about you. I love you guys, man. But, you know, also, please stop changing the language to Russian on my feedback forms, man. You know, I love you. I'll give you your own sheet next time, all Russian. You guys can go crazy on there, man. I know you're passionate. I love it. It's great. Just maybe dial it down to like 8 from 11. But yeah, we didn't forget about you guys. As soon as we know exactly what servers are going into which, we will tell you. But you know, if the picture earlier didn't give you a clue, we really going to try to keep everything in the same time zone together.
Yeah.
And as much as we can, keep the same languages together. You know, there's going to be some servers with mixed languages. That's unavoidable. We have that now. But we're going to try to keep them together as much as possible. All German servers. I mean, you guys can quit asking about like the country. Yeah, every server is getting merged. I think you mean like, are all the German ones going to be merged into one big German one? Kind of. That's kind of the plan right now, and that's what we're talking about, keeping the same languages together whenever possible. That's the important, whenever possible. And another reason we didn't release the whole server list right now of what the new servers are going to look like is that, you know, that is very much subject to change. We could decide if certain things aren't working exactly the way that we want, we might have to switch up our plans a little bit. So as we get more confident in the plan and as we know exactly how it's going to go, we'll release more and more information. And that's we're going to be doing this. It's going to be a process. We'll keep giving you guys updates, and, you know, we'll work through it. Let's see what else. You thought about implementing a fourth company?
I know the post he's referring to. It was an interesting idea that multi-company, some people in multi-company want to be there so they can shoot absolutely everyone. Okay. So effectively be an outlaw without being an outlaw. Okay. And his idea was allow people to join the pirate company and to be an outlaw without being an outlaw. Which I actually like the idea of, but it's a lot of work, dev work, so it's not something we'd be able to do anytime soon.
No, it is
quite a lot of balancing. Yeah.
But it is something that we've discussed, and it's something that I've discussed about like clans and like companies and like the ways that we can like mix things up and like gain new potential, new possibilities, new things that you can do. So yeah, it's a good idea, and it's definitely something that's been like put on the table, but as Declan said, there's a lot of like resource that needs to go into that, because it's about creating something that feels balanced with the rest of like the clans. And again, if we go into like removing multi-company clans and moving to like real company structures, then we want plot lines following those like different companies and different things you can gain by being with different companies, and that becomes a much bigger thing. I think Declan mentioned when he was like doing like the ship rebalancing when he started. When he started, it was like opening a can of worms, and it's the same thing.
I'm so
delete
confused.
that one.
Which one? I'm so confused.
You're on it right now.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, so I
blind.
saw a question in there while it was scrolling through that we didn't touch on. I think I touched on this in the past, but just to ease your mind a little bit, it's about if you have accounts on multiple servers that are being merged together onto the same server. No, you're not going to lose any of the accounts. You'll be able to play all of those accounts on the new server, basically. So you'll have like a drop-down list. They're each going to be a separate account. But you know, you'll have access to all of them. You're not going to lose any of your stuff. It's all going to be there. So you don't have to worry about that. OP, thanks for the answer. Yeah, buddy. Sometimes he does that thing. When will the Skyline be fixed? Is that the issue?
It's the names, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna fix it. It's gonna be fixed really soon. I know it's a bit annoying, but we're gonna fix it. The title systems, yeah. So we're working on all the titles and ranks. That was another reason why we were so careful about how we did this server merge. Yeah, because we know that's important to you. And the thing that would mess it up is, you know, there's certain titles and ranks that are only allowed you're only allowed to have so many per server. So we had to be really careful on how we put all that stuff together. Make sure it wouldn't just, like, you know, mess up everything. We do have solutions in place, but the main solution for that in the end is going to be we're going actually to a new system for leaderboards and for stuff like that. I can't tell you when that's going to be released. We have another meeting, I think, this week regarding when exactly we're going to be pushing that out. So until we make a decision on that, I don't really want to get into the specifics. I'm pretty sure the meeting is this week, though. So by next Twitch stream, or, you know, just do an announcement, we'll be able to tell you guys how that's going to work out and what the timeline for the new ranking and leaderboard system is going to look like. But you're not going to lose any of your stuff, don't worry. Titles, ranks, all that stuff is still going to be on your account, but we are introducing some new things. So, yeah, so the client, also you got to talk about downloadable client. I've touched on that before. I don't have an exact timeline for that either, but it's already, as you know, we're testing it on one of our other titles right now. Everything went well as far as I know. Everything's looking good. So it was actually one of our developers, well, he didn't develop the whole thing, but actually one of our developers really helped that team put their client together. So, I mean, we had a working prototype we played on 2 or 3 streams ago. It's working, but we want to wait until after, you know, C5 is fully rolled out theirs and everything, and then we'll be coming with ours. So, you know, if you pay attention to the C5 community, which I'm sure a lot of you do, pay attention to what's going on over there. You'll get a basic idea of when we're going to be rolling out. I mean, we still have quite a bit of time before it's 100% necessary to roll out a client, but we're going to do it. It's more sooner than later. So don't worry, we got it on you. Who wants a piece of pizza? Me, man. I'm starving.
Been quite a few original questions about JPA. I don't think we've seen them before.
Oh,
Will it
JPA,
come back?
What's going on with JPA? I can tell you one thing about JPA, actually. OP and I were actually talking about this other day, and we have some ideas how we might be able to implement something very similar. As I say every single time, JPA as it was is not coming back. And even if we do bring something back very similar, we are not calling it JPA. But, you know, we do have a couple of ideas floating around right now how we can do it. We want to try to do it right now. It would be with the least amount of dev bandwidth possible. But if we want to do a full-fledged new thing, we would have to wait a while for that. Definitely, it would take a while. But we do have some ideas, some stuff floating around.
The other thing that works against us is that the last JPA was done 2014 or 2015, I believe. So nobody on this team ran through it. Someone would have to relearn it, see what it's about. So it'd still take quite a while to bring it up anyway, even if we were going to do a one-for-one copy.
I saw a question for something that Phil brought up before, something about posters.
Yes.
So, how about them posters, Phil?
Well, as you can't see on the feed because Lamar moved the camera, we've got new posters behind us, which you can't see at the moment. I think we will discuss doing a competition so that you can win some of the new posters, maybe a writing competition or something like this, but We've got a really good translation team, so we'll get them to be involved in like reviewing them, so you can write in your own language. I think we'd be really happy with that. But we'll have a discussion about it and think of a good competition that we can do. And a set of these posters could be yours.
Who is the kid in the right corner? I see him every time. I don't know.
Because I work here.
No,
Yeah.
this dude just showed up one day and he just won't leave, and now it's gotten awkward, so we just let him hang out.
Yeah.
We feed him every now and again, you know.
He gets more and more talkative every time.
Yeah.
So
he's
it's
nice.
like...
He's nice enough, so we let him hang out and chill with us. Yeah. So I think we're gonna go ahead and shut this stream down for now, because this wasn't really supposed to be a huge Q&A session. We just wanted to kind of let you guys know what our plan was on the server merge, how that's looking, and give you the first timeline, which in the end is, we're going to be starting in January. We'll be completing tests up until then to make sure everything works. We'll be starting in January. Once that process begins, we will be, giving you, probably weekly updates as to how things are going, what's happening. Of course, we'll always let you know what servers are next, which ones will be unavailable for how long. We're going to keep you guys informed as best, as best way we can, and we'll be using all means. So you'll see the posts in the forums on Discord. Come join us, Facebook, everything, the whole nine. So I'm literally looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to be done too. I want this to be done, but I want it also to be done the right way. We've made some great progress, especially in the last couple of months, not just when it comes to server merge, but when it comes to the game overall. So yeah, we have some good things going on. And so, anything from you, LP?
No.
Anything from you in closing, Mr. Feed?
No, just keep playing the game and have fun.
Okay guys, we're about to sign off now. I apologize once again for the technical difficulties. OP, Phil and myself had decided that next time we stream, we are not going to use this monstrosity of a board. We're probably gonna not, find a different way to do this, because obviously Windows in our streaming program and the damn soundboard they are not friends at all.
But we could stream off like a phone, which you couldn't have done with the old Nokia.
That's
He's got a point. He's got a point.
He got me there. He got me there. So anyway, everybody, enjoy. Keep playing. Have a great day, week, or year, whatever you're doing. Enjoy the Christmas holidays. We got some great stuff coming up for you next month. Birthday, of course, winter gifts, all that good stuff. Have a great day. Enjoy. Happy gaming.